Hey, we're here with Ryan Villopoto. We're actually out at a Yamaha YZ65 intro. It's a little on the windy side, so we're high now in the rig. Speaking of Yamaha, it's been a couple months now since you announced your partnership with the brand. We've seen you show up at some vet nationals, just riding a lot. I mean, I know instantly people want to come up with crazy things like, oh, maybe he'll try a national here or there, something weird like that, but I think the cool part is Yamaha's doing a lot of fun stuff with like flat track projects and the 65 here, and you've got a 125, so I mean, it seems like you're a little more free to do what you want. Is there anything you've come up with the rest of the year? Anything fun you want to play around with or try?
Yeah, no, it's been a really good partnership, and from a company standpoint, it's been rad to work with the guys there. They've just been really open, and whatever I need, and just come pick this up, come pick that up, and just trying to come up, spin some cool ideas on what's next and what can we do next and ride next and things like that. So. I think next for me, what's on the list is, I believe Sturgis is on our list that we're going to show up to and check out. MotoGP's this weekend, so I'll be there for Yamaha, hanging out and, checking out the Yamaha boys and Rossi and having a good time there. And hand-built show I think we're going to do Friday and maybe Saturday night. So, to be honest, just a bunch of kind of new things that's fun and interesting and that I haven't got to do in the past. So, really looking forward to it.
So actually a little more directly correlated to Moto, I saw you picked up a 125. They haven't quite announced the 125 series yet. If they do, is that something you may do a round or two of? Or?
I picked up a 18 YZ 125, so that's pretty rad to ride. I just did a pretty cool motosport.com photo shoot commercial that you guys will see dropping here pretty soon up at Zaka. So the bike's a lot of fun to ride. It's crazy how I raced a two-stroke one. I raced a 252-stroke a lot, but a 125 I only raced once. And it's crazy to see how far the bikes have come. Now till compared to back then. So Yamaha's an awesome brand for me to be partnered up with because they have everything that I would want to get my hands on, from two strokes, from 125s to 250s to a awesome side by side and water sports, anything. Like I said, anything is anything that I want to get my hands on. I can go out and ride or drive or run.
So that's two other things I've seen you do a little bit since you officially retired was a little bit of flat track. And you played around some off-road truck stuff, so side-by-side racing, flat track bike, any of that stuff you want?
Yeah, so I think Wednesday I'm going to try to get out to Milestone and do some flat tracking. Yamaha built me a DTX bike, so we'll get out there and do some sliding around. And to be honest, it's one of the funnest things that I've done on a 450 is flat tracking. It's just something that I enjoy a lot, and it's a lot of fun. And it's just completely different than what I'm used to. So, going out with some buddies, hanging out, doing some flat track is rad.
I got the opportunity to try it for about a year ago, and I thought it was so funny at how hard it is to put together two corners so consistently. And I think a lot of people look at you with your rear steering style you've always had. Is it translating over, or is it harder than you thought it would be too?
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm good at it, but I think I'm okay at it. It's like I said, it's a lot of fun. It's crazy how close you guys or the guys out there can actually get to each other, battle. You just take your hand off the bar real quick and touch somebody. You're so close. It's, I would say, even closer than supercross, motocross, things like that, because you're just sliding in and you guys are just almost like touching plastic coming through the turn. So. Obviously I can always do better at it.
Now, I know a lot of people have kind of looked at how the end of your career was, where you were at with maybe your passion of motorcycle racing, and kind of where we saw you take off back to Washington when you first retired. Now you're down here and you're really active. I mean, that little bit of time away, I don't want to say, the term that maybe you fell back in love with it, but after being up there for a little bit, did that spur on doing all this, where you just really want to get back at it and be around kind of all this in general?
I think just for me, and it happens to a lot of people, you just need to completely get away, disconnect, and recharge batteries, basically, essentially is what I did. And yeah, we did that. We moved to Washington and ended up moving back down here, and it just, for me, getting away, and you could say, finding the passion for it again. But ultimately, yeah, I was over it. I didn't want to. I think the first year I didn't ride for 8 months or something. So, I just wanted to get away and find some normalcy and then come back, because ultimately this is a really rad sport. I've met a lot of awesome people that work inside the industry that I call friends. So essentially my life and friends are in the moto industry. So I think a lot of people thought that I might just go crawl off into the woods and live in the woods, but after, just like I said, after getting away and kind of reassessing and reevaluating kind of what we wanted to do, we were able to make the decision to come back down and get back involved.
It seems like, I look at some guys like McGrath, Carmichael, yourself, that I feel like can really, of course, you're a multi-time champion, you're in the record books, but you're able to take all that hard work you put in for 10 years pro, the time as amateur, and it all pays off. You can do a lot of cool projects now and go back to just really enjoying why you got involved in the first place.
Yeah, totally. Just the stuff that I'm doing with Yamaha is rad, and Answer. I'm not working with any particular rider at this point, but that could be something that happens in the near future. Somebody, if I start working with a rider, or somebody calls me up and wants me to work with them, that's something that I'm interested in doing in the future for supercross or motocross, things like that. Just being down here, available to everybody is, it makes it appealing for everybody else to, I'm just a phone call away and just down the road. So if they need to get a hold of me, if they need me to show up here, if they need me to do something, I'm right around the corner. So it's not a plane flight or organizing a plane and a hotel and a rental car and things like that.
So although we've seen you change up with a lot of brands here as you kind of taken this next step in what you want to call a career, basically, one thing I've noticed, you've always been with this pro circuit, and now that you're not on a factory bike or a loaner factory bike, almost all your personal bikes, Bones is building you suspension again, you're working with them more directly. Has that been kind of enjoyable? Yeah,
it's rad. I've started off my career at pro circuit with Bones and Zach and Mitch, so it is cool to be able to be in the position to be able to still work with those guys at pro circuit further than just running the pipe. So for instance, Mitch has done a lot for me personally and in my career. So and once again, I asked Mitch, I was like, hey man, my garage is pretty small, can I get have a little space out here? He's got the two buildings, and he's like, yeah, just set up there. There's a bench, and you can have the whole workspace right here. So in the back, right where the semi is, I have a workbench and air and all the shit that I need right there to basically run a little my own little race shop at a pro circuit. So he's done a lot for me in the past and currently.
So last one, we talked about some of the little events coming up here soon, but if you look at your year as a whole, do you got anything specifically you're really excited about to go do that you already have kind of labeled on your calendar?
Well, like I said, MotoGP's this weekend, so it's going to be, I've actually never been to Austin, so that's something that I've wanted to do in the past. Never been to MotoGP in the States, been to one into Europe, but never here, so this is going to be a highlight. Sturgis is going to be a highlight, and probably going to try to hit a couple knobby nights at Costa Mesa. To be honest, the kind of the cool thing is just random things pop up. Like this necessarily wasn't on my calendar, just because it's a call it a home event. But they called me up and said, hey, let's come out to Comp Edge and do the 65 intro. So meeting some new people and hanging out with people that I've already met and friends and once again inside the industry, people that I've known for my whole career. So it's cool.